Happy Thursday. I am going to promote you guys up as panelists so that you can talk if you want to. What's up, Terrence? How you doing, man? Trish? Amy, how are you doing, Amy? Where are you calling in from, Amy?
Oh, actually, I'm her assistant, but she should be joining anytime soon. My name is Sess.
Sorry, what was that?
My name is Sess.
Tess, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Welcome to the call. Appreciate you having.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn. It's my first time, so.
Great, welcome, welcome. Which part of the country is your team based in?
I'm with Amy, so we're doing Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, awesome, awesome. Yeah, Wisconsin was like one of those like final states that where I didn't have anyone yet, and then when Amy joined, yes, finally got someone.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin. That's good. You guys are getting in there early. You got pretty much monopoly on the state right now. Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
I'll message her. She should be here anytime soon.
Yeah, awesome. Chapito, how you doing, man?
I'm great. How you doing, Robert?
I'm doing awesome. Am I saying your name right, by the way?
No, you got it perfect. Yeah, it's Chapito.
Chapito?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know you've been looking forward to today's office hours. Hopefully
Absolutely, man.
Take you to the next level.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to share with everyone where you're calling in from, which markets you work?
Calling in from Atlanta, Georgia. Also, like looking at markets in North Carolina, Charlotte in particular, Alabama, Florida, Texas. You know, just trying to gain a few markets, like little market share like that.
Hell yeah, all over the South.
Yeah, trying to be like you when I grow up.
I appreciate the compliment. Well, thanks for jumping on. Hopefully we can drop some game that helps you get to the next level today. Super to have you on.
Appreciate you, man.
It looks like we got Rebecca on. Rebecca, thanks so much. You said
hello. Yep, I'll try to participate as much as possible, but I'm multitasking a little bit today.
Awesome. All right. So
all right.
You got to fill us in afterwards on how, do you have a second to fill us in on how things went with the Louisiana deal? How things go since last week?
So, you know, we're just kind of seeing if I can find somebody. If not, then the seller was like, we'll just let our contract run out. So yeah. Yeah,
your price is a little high on that, but
you can always I just had an NBA player actually ask me about it.
That's pretty cool.
I know. I find the weirdest buyers sometimes, but pardon me.
How did you end up finding that buyer?
My assistant found him on Facebook, like just searching in Hammond, Louisiana. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. So he went to Louisiana State and so forth. So we'll see. I'm going to call him back later on to have a conversation with him, but
awesome.
We'll see.
That's it. And if you have any other deals you want us to take a look at today, let us know. Hopefully we can help get you guys to the next level. I think last week, was really productive for you, right? And
it was good. Yeah. I liked it. Mm-hmm. It was really good.
Have you been able to implement some of the things that you learned last week over the last week since then? And have you seen results from things you've implemented?
So we have been implementing some different things that I learned last week, and we are being better about getting more pictures and video and then uploading documents that we need that our buyers would want. I have reached out to a lot of the group to help me JV on some stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm stacking buyers lists from Cartel and from a couple of other places, and we're calling them too.
Cool.
So
love it.
Yeah.
Well, keep posted on how things go. I think the biggest thing for you is to get your acquisition teams vetting the numbers on the deals more. I think if you get really focus on like, pushing them to get the right numbers up front, it's your life is gonna be way easier when you're trying to move them on the other side.
Yes, totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for jumping on again today, Rebecca. I appreciate having you on here, and
You bet.
yeah, thanks for joining. Awesome.
Okay.
And by the
I
way,
will
guys,
participate
Rebecca,
as much as, yes, go ahead.
Rebecca is based in Utah. And Rebecca, you're doing a few other markets as well, right?
Yeah, so we live in Salt Lake City, Utah, me and my partner, and then we have all of us are virtual offices, but we started virtual wholesaling 7 years ago. That's all I've ever known. So we started in Idaho, and then now we'll just do any deal across the country. So we just closed on storage units in Augusta, Georgia, and I closed on a house in Michigan last week. So I have properties all over the place. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, hit up Rebecca if you have Utah or surrounding.
I'd love to help anybody I can. So
Awesome.
reach out. I'll put my contact information in the chat box.
Sweet. Okay. Well,
All right.
jumping on. Appreciate it, Rebecca.
You bet. Have a good one.
Awesome. All right. Looks like we got Terrence on the call. Terrence, how you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm good. I got my mic working now.
Awesome. You want to share with everyone where you're calling in from?
I am like Chapito. I am also in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. And you're doing a few other markets too as well, right?
Yeah, I'm in so that's my main market. I'm also in North, South Carolina, Florida, Texas, Michigan, Illinois, and California.
Nice. Awesome. Well, super happy to have you on, Terrence, and hopefully we can help you get up your game even more today.
Oh, most definitely. I'm definitely looking to get some of this good knowledge. I'm glad I saw the Facebook post. So absolutely.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, welcome, Terrence. Thanks for jumping on. Looks like we have, is it Yahara? Is that how we say it?
Yes, that's correct. Hi.
Hey, how are you doing, Yahara? Where are you calling in from?
So we're based in Houston, Texas, but we mostly do marketing all over Texas, Florida, just kind of nationwide as well.
Awesome. And how long have you been on InvestorLift for?
So we've been doing this for about 3 years now. We started mostly with Texas and then just recently went nationwide.
Yeah. How long have you been doing on InvestorLift?
So we just joined. We're just newly this year. So I think about 2-3 months now.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for jumping on.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I appreciate having you on the call. So hopefully we can help you with any of your deals you want to move. Guys, if you want, just down in the chat, drop your name, your email or phone number if you want to share, and which markets you're moving deals in, because this is going to be a prime way for you guys to connect with other InvestorLift companies. If you have a deal in their area, they have a deal in your area. You want to be building your Rolodex of other companies that can help you move deals. Looks like we just had Anthony jump on the call. What's up, Anthony? How are you doing? I just pushed you up to panelist so you can talk. I think you're still on mute. Oh, I think it's switching over to panelist right now. Anthony, can you hear us okay?
Oh, I had it on mute. My bad.
What's up, Anthony?
What's up, man? How you been?
I've been good. Busy. We got some game-changing stuff we're working on that. Like, I'm so excited to drop pretty soon. But
man, cool. I just shot you a DM. Messenger.
Yeah, I just
right before we got on.
Saw
Okay.
there's been popped up right before, but I was already like opening the webinar and everything. But
No, I got you. No, I'm excited, man. That's why I said let me jump on, man. It's been a while since we spoke, so I'm ready and all ears.
Absolutely. And by the way, I literally right before this call, I just trained my team on how to export and load vetted buyers in, because I was doing it myself, but I had to run database queries and everything. So we came up with Meryl, Gel, and Angel do it. So guys,
Okay.
if I was calling, you haven't heard about this. We have almost 500,000 buyers in our database that are sitting there but haven't been vetted yet. We're thinking about different ways to get them vetted. We're do we hire an army of VAs and just pump through them over 6 months? Yeah, we could do that. But I was thinking who needs buyers? Most pro users need buyers. So what we decided is, Yeah, most of these buyers come from the cartel bosses. They've been buying lists, scraping data, all that over the years, but just haven't had a chance to go through and vet all of them yet. So what we're doing is there's a post on the Facebook group. Actually, I think I can drop you guys a link here. If you go to this URL on that post, if you want buyers, just post 2, 3 cities or counties that you're looking for buyers in. And if we have unvetted buyers in those areas, we'll just drop them into your account for free. The condition though, the deal is you got to go and actually vet them. Okay, so give them a call, add some geotags, add some notes. If it's a bad phone number, remove it, try to track down the real phone number, get it loaded in, but basically go through and try to vet as many of those buyers as we can. If you guys do that, when we give you a county or 2 counties or whatever, and you go through and vet them, and you come back to us, and you're like, hey, I want another county or another city, we'll just keep on giving them to you. We got 500,000 to get to, okay? But if you want to do this, act on it fast, because like I remember like last week there was like one area where there was like 10,000 unvetted buyers, and I dropped 10,000 unvetted buyers into someone's account, and I came back this week to give someone else the same area, and there was only like maybe like 4,000 or 5,000 because about half of them have already been vetted. Okay, so if you want to take advantage of it, just drop a few counties on that post. And right after this call, actually, my team's going to be spending the afternoon going through and running exports for anyone that wants buyers. Okay, we're going to try to finish the whole list today if we can. So awesome. Anthony, we'll hook you up right after this call. Looks like we got Andrew on as well. Andrew, what's up, Andrew?
What's going on, man? It might be a little loud. I'm in a cabana in Hershey Park right now, but I haven't been able to attend one of these, so I wanted to hop down and check out how it's going, man.
I love it. I love it. Guys, Andrew, if you don't know Andrew, he's one of the cartel bosses based out of Pennsylvania. He's doing the whole Pennsylvania, Baltimore area. You came out of nowhere. Like, how long have you been wholesaling for?
So Reese has been doing this for 6 years, but I joined him in January. So once I joined in January, that's when we really ramped things up. And, you know, Reese was doing 5 to 10 deals a month on his own. And then I came in, we started adding team players, kind of created a little bit of a company culture. And now we're moving anywhere from 20 to 30 deals or more per week, or not per week, but per month.
Yeah, it's actually grow. I love watching the stats in your account. Like we have this one thing called user adoption scores, and it shows us like which companies are like adopting InvestorLift, implementing it the most. Usually the higher the user adoption score, the higher the revenue growth. Okay, so we try to watch like who are the highest, like the companies that are adopting InvestorLift the best, and the ones that are kind of lagging behind. And one of the things I've always noticed is you're always like, over the last few months, you've been the top 5, top 10 consistently month after month. And that's probably why you guys have gone from like 0 to, what did you say, 20 deals a month?
Yeah, I mean, especially with pay-per-click and what you showed you with that. And, you know, we're very lucky in that my wife has been doing digital marketing for forever, but within the first month, we were able to lock in, I can't even tell you how many deals, just with pay-per-click, leveraging your landing page. My wife is incredibly impressed with it. And once we turned on pay-per-click, after like 2 or 3 weeks, we made some adjustments and it just took off. We have some days where we got 15, 20 like warm leads, like ready to go. We're locking up like half of those in one day.
Yeah, it's incredible. Printing money. I love it. Hey, and you're coming by tomorrow, right? Well,
no, I think we're going to head up Saturday.
Awesome.
So. But yeah, we're excited to see you guys.
Yeah, my wife's birthday is Saturday, and so we're like rented this tent, and she's got caterers. My house is like, the yard is like crazy right now. I got 12 different contractors and people putting up a tent and everything. But yeah, Andrew's right down the road, so he's gonna be coming by. And we're gonna rent some planes and fly up to David Coyle's place and up in Atlantic City. It's gonna be a good time. But yeah, guys, it just shows you Andrew's a prime example. If you come in and really study, like I remember like Reese and Andrew, like you guys came to the last cartel boss meet and you guys were like studying, like taking notes on everything. And then like you went back and like, boom, 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 implemented, did everything perfectly. And now you've just blown up your business to take it to the next level. So it really shows you what's possible. Awesome. Well,
Yeah,
welcome, Andrew.
100%, man. We absolutely appreciate being a part of this and everything you've showed us. And dude, for everyone that's out there, if you're not implementing what Robert's talking about, you should. Like, I don't know what else to tell you other than you should. He's got the data. He knows what he's talking about. He's built an amazing system, and if you're not leveraging it every way you can, you're just leaving money on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So hopefully today we're going to help you guys all learn how to print as much freaking money as possible. Awesome. Well, thanks, Andrew. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Super pumped about that. Looks like we also have Valerie on. Valerie, what's up? I'm just pushing up as a panelist so you can talk. Let's see. We'll push you up. Yeah. What's up, Valerie? How are you doing today? I think you might be on mute. Can you hear us okay, Valerie?
Hello there. Sorry, I had
Hey.
to click the panelist button. Hello, how are you all? I see some faces, and it's always great to see your face, Robert. Thank you again for this office hours.
Yeah, I appreciate having you on. And do you want to share where you're from, Valerie?
Sure, I'm from Chicago, the greater Chicago metro area, living way up northern, northwest suburbs, almost near Wisconsin. Last night, actually, I went downtown to, well, another northern suburb, which isn't really downtown. I went down about an hour's drive south and met up for a local meetup group.
Yeah.
And one of your members was there. Another member was
Oh,
hosting the group, Joe Monig. I don't know if he ever gets on these calls, but
Yeah.
he is, he's got a handful of rehabs he's working on right now. And it was just really, it was a great session. So it's
That's
also
awesome.
nice to be able to connect with other people using the system.
Yeah, we call it the investor family for a reason. I'm going to show you guys a data visualization in a second that just like totally speaks to how everyone in the InvestorLift community working together is like completely changing the game. It's going to blow your mind when you see it. I'll show you that in a second. But Valerie, thanks so much for jumping on, guys. If you have deals in Chicago, hit up Valerie. She's been working in that market for a very long time. Welcome, Valerie.
Thanks.
Looks like, yeah, awesome. Thanks. So we have Michael Myers. Michael, I tried pushing up as a panelist, but I don't know if you're busy doing something. I did just click allow to talk. If you're on, did you want to share where you're calling in from? I think you might be multitasking. Trish, same thing with you. Tried pushing up as a panelist, but I think you're still hanging back. I did click allow to talk. If you're on and available, do you want to share where you're calling in from? I think they're multitasking. Okay, did I get everyone else? I think I got everyone. Okay, if I missed you, I apologize. Zoom is always switching the order of people on this list. All right, so guys, I'm going to start off today. What I want to do is talk about a few things that, one of the things in InvestorLift is like, we're trying to disrupt this industry. And the one way we're going to disrupt this industry is by helping you guys do as many freaking deals as possible. And to help you do that, I always try to get any behind the scenes insights that I'm getting. I want to be sharing those with you. Any information that could be helpful, I want to be sharing those with you. So first thing I want to do, I want to show you guys something really cool. Actually, let me give you some background before I share this with you. So last week's call, I remember we ended last week's call where one of the things I mentioned is that the eviction notice has already started going out because the eviction memorandum was supposed to expire like that night. And then literally the next day after it expired, they went and extended it to October. Okay. So it's kicked the can down the road a couple months further out. But here's the thing, they can't just keep kicking the can down the road forever. Okay, I do not think they're going to be able to kick the can even more after this. So it's pushed down to October. The downside of this is it delays the flood of leads we're about to get. It's 5.5 million households, right? I think about 5.5, 5.6 million that, there's going to be a ton of tired landlords that haven't been getting rent for a year. year and a half, and they're going to be looking to liquidate to cover some of their losses that they've had. It's not going to be like 2008, but it's going to be a big, huge flood of leads and properties that are going to come hit the market. So disadvantages, it's taking us a little bit longer because of the government. But the advantage is if you're just getting onto InvestorLift, or you've about like recently got into InvestorLift and you haven't had a chance to like figure out Google Ads or figure out your marketing or figure out like put together a plan for like how to take advantage of that and make money when that happens, you now have some time to go practice and go get things dialed in and get your accounts rolling. Okay, so if you're not running Google Ads and you're upset about the delay, I would reposition that in your brain as like, okay, now this is an opportunity. I can go get my account dialed in, get everything perfectly set up so I can go take advantage of the opportunity when it does come. I truly believe that the next 24 months is going to be the beginning of the golden age in wholesaling. Okay. And I believe it because I see it in the data every single day. Okay. If you look at what's going on at a macro level, like you got to understand the macro level and study the macro level so that you can work smart at the micro level. Okay. So at the macro level, you got all this money floating around, right? Interest rates are lower than they've pretty much ever been in history. Tons of money floating around, but like these big hedge funds and private equity funds, they don't want to put their money into the market because, the S&P 500 went up like over 70% last year. All the stocks are super overinflated. Meanwhile, like $1 in $5 that's floating around in America right now was printed in the last 12 months. So you can't hold cash, because if you hold cash, your money is going to be eroding in value because inflation is up so high. So you got to put your money somewhere. You can't put it in the market. You got to protect it from inflation. What's the best inflation protection hedge where you can actually park your money and also have tax advantages? Real estate. Okay. So what we've seen is, last month, I mentioned this on last week's call, offers went up over 400% last month. Massive, massive, massive increase. Okay. So what is driving that is that 20% of the buyers are doing 80% of the offers. Okay. And in that 20%, it's like, hedge funds like SFR3, okay, Wedgwood, those guys are shopping on InvestorLift like it's a candy shop right now. Okay. Buying up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of homes. And the other hedge funds and private equity funds are starting to pile on as well. And the great thing about those buyers is they don't need the same kind of a profit margin as a mom and pop shop needs. Okay. Because they're the volume game. Okay. So people are making a lot more per deal. They're selling deals a lot faster, and they're selling them at much higher volumes. Okay. So also the number of deals each company is selling is increasing. Okay. So what's going to happen over the next 24 months is you're like, Steve Train calls them the truck with the truck, that's how this industry has been for a while. Guys driving around, like driving for dollars, like gets a deal here, a deal there. Maybe he has a couple people on his team. Like that's been most of the industry is like these kind of like amateur like hustlers that have been trying to get a deal here, a deal there. What's happening, what's shifting is there's becoming a lot less wholesalers, but the wholesalers that are existing are doing much more deals per company. Okay, so you're seeing the emergence of the mega wholesalers. Okay, like a few years ago, I think we took the first company past $1 million a month wholesaling. Now we have companies that are like putting together plans to break 10 million a month. Okay, it's possible. All right, it's going to happen. I think the first 100 million a year wholesaling company is going to be an InvestorLift company. And it's going to happen in the next 24 months. Okay, you heard it here first. Okay, so the good news is this is day one of the wholesaling golden age. Okay, right? There's so many millions of dollars to be made, and you guys are getting in super, super early. You're getting all your systems set up. You're like mastering all the skills you need to go take advantage now. So over the next 24 or so months, as people make millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, you can capture as much of that as possible. Okay. Does that all make sense? Any questions about that? Thoughts, comments? Is anyone else seeing this? You're seeing a lot of hedge funds coming and buying their deals. Andrew, you're selling some stuff to some hedge funds, right?
Yeah, absolutely. and not even just hedge funds, but just like what's Tark's show, Flip or Flop, like his acquisition team.
Yeah.
There's more and more HGTV, those type of shows. Like they need stuff for the show. You know, not only do they need stuff for their shows, but like on top of the hedge funds, like real estate in general is just blowing up. Like people are looking for great deals, and you're 100% right. Like real estate's only going to get bigger. It's getting more common. Social media is making it blow up. That all starts with wholesale. You know,
Yeah.
we're kind of like that hidden element that is there before this beautiful HGTV show comes out, right? And,
Yeah.
on top of the hedge funds, there's all kinds of buyers that are just gobbling stuff up that are buying at the same volume a hedge fund is. So there's plenty out there.
Absolutely. There's another high level thing here, guys. What we're doing is we're completely shifting the game. We're actually shifting hundreds of billions of dollars that people in the existing incumbent inefficient industry are making and shifting it over to new players. So I was talking to one of our members the other day, and he had a conversation with a guy that has done, I think, $500 billion of deals, like mergers, acquisitions, buying and selling companies. And he showed him InvestorLift, and he asked the guy, well, you know, what do you think this company's worth? And this guy worth millions of dollars has done $500 million of transactions in his life. He's like, well, they're worth definitely over $100 million. And he told me this. So I'm like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. Like, we just got started. Like, write me a check. You know, I think it's a little overinflated. Like at first I was like, this is complete nonsense. But the reasoning why is it because what we're doing in the industry, what the entire community is doing in the industry. So on a regular real estate transaction, you have a buyer's agent, right? They make 3%. Yeah, seller's agent, they make 3%. And you got a title company, they make a little bit, transaction fees. Then you got the mortgage broker, you know, maybe they make a point, make some fees. And then you got the bank that's going to underwrite, you know, you're like JP Morgan or whatever is going to underwrite the loan. And, you know, at like a normal interest rate on a 30-year loan, let's say it's a $500,000 house, they're going to make $500,000 over the next 30 years on the loan. Okay. So mortgage lending is this huge, huge business. Now, so that's the way that things have been working in a conventional real estate transaction with the realtor and buyer. Now, think about how things change when we wholesale a deal to a hedge fund or a private equity fund. Okay. Does the buying agent make a commission?
Not usually.
Nope, not most of the time. Does the selling agent make any commission?
Nada.
Usually, right? And then the bank that normally gives the retail buyer a loan makes $500,000 on a $500,000 home. Are they making any money when a hedge fund or a private equity fund buys? They're not making anything, right? So we're actually, what we're doing, each of us doing, you know, like let's say a company does, we did the math the other day. If a company does 20 deals in a year, do you know how much money you're costing the banks? You're costing the banks about $5.5 million a year. The banks in the ecosystem, okay, based on like average sale prices of properties on InvestorLift, some assumptions put into that. But we are shifting the whole real estate game on who makes money on these transactions. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. It's, if you look at what Zillow is doing, look at what Open Door is doing. Okay, like Zillow just bought, I think, 3,800 homes last quarter. 5 years from now, I don't think there's real estate agents anymore, except for at the very high end. The very high end, yeah, you're always going to have some agents selling those $20, $30 million a year homes. Okay. But at the low end and mid end, I think that it's going to be a whole new generation of mega wholesalers who are going to be born. Okay. We're going to be born over the next 24 months. And then your big iBuyers like Open Door, Zillow, things like that. And I think the iBuyers will focus more on the stuff they can buy algorithmically. Like Open Door doesn't go into a lot of areas with basements. Why? Because basements introduce a lot of uncertainty. Okay. So they're going to own like the newer stuff, the lipstick and paint, and that's fine. But then us as a community, anything else, which is the majority, we're going to own. right? All of us, if we get set up, the only way to do that is to have it distributed, okay? And we're distributed. So the mega wholesalers are being born right now. You get guys like Andrew in this room that's doing 20 deals a month from like, I think last year you weren't even working the wholesaling game. We have guys like Tark from HGTV, started off month one, did 40,000, within 5 months broke $1 million. A few months more, did 2.7 million in January with 5 guys on his team. And I think within the next couple of years could break 10 million a month. There is tremendous opportunity. I think there's going to be books written about this, right? Like the money the realtors are making and the banks are making, we're going to start taking. All of us are going to start taking that, okay? And because people don't, like, the regular way to sell a house sucks, okay? And most people are willing to give up a little bit more money for a much easier experience. Okay, and we offer that, and iBuyers offer that, but iBuyers can't service our customers usually. Okay, so we're gonna, I think all of us together are gonna own that market segment. And guys, it's 11% of the real estate economy. 11% of properties every year are sold to real estate investors. It's hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay, so that it gets me so excited. Like I can't sleep some nights. I'm so excited. I'm like, this is the beginning of the golden age of wholesaling, and the InvestorLift community is at the forefront of it. Okay. I'm going to show you this visually now. Okay. Let me just so you like understand the power of what we're all doing here. Okay. So this is a visualization. Okay. Do you guys see my screen? Okay.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So this is December 2019. We just kicked off. This is showing you leads generated by the InvestorLift community by city. Okay. So watch what happens here over the last 24 months. Okay, this is the InvestorLift family taking over. Watch this. Boom, look at that. It's a beautiful thing. That's all you guys generating leads, getting deals. That's the lead flow across the community over the last 24 months. You can see, especially last month when the Google Vitals, Core Vitals update went up, all of a sudden it just goes whoosh, like just over the last 38% increase in leads just last month. Okay, 38% in 1 month. Absolutely tremendous. So huge, exciting time. I think this is going to be like the best business to be in over the next 24 months. And we're all in it together. And yeah, no, there's tons of opportunities. We're just scratching the surface right now of what we'll all do together over the next 24 months. The AI we're about to drop is like mind bending. The first version will be very basic, but you guys are all going to be powered by AI, the same as like normally only the big mega iBuyers like Open Door and stuff could afford $500 an hour data scientists to go build the kind of stuff that InvestorLift is going to have pretty soon. But now you guys are all going to have that. And as soon as you have that, now you're able to compete, and you're going to be crushing anyone. It's going to be like horse and buggy. Like I always say, it's going to be like horse and buggy versus McLaren. You know, there's not going to be a comparison between companies that are on InvestorLift and not. So super excited to have you guys on. Are you guys excited? You guys see this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be
Excited.
incredible. Yeah.
It's amazing.
I need my piece of it, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. There's going to be lots of money to go around. Okay. So that's some like positive stuff. I want to talk a little bit about some negative stuff that we're seeing. Okay. And this is the other thing that makes our community really powerful is like, one of the things we need to do is we need to protect the reputation of our industry. Because if we don't protect the reputation of our industry, then the government's going to come in and legislate against us. Okay. And yeah, there's going to be ways to adapt, but it just slows things down. makes things more complicated, costs us money on transactions. You're seeing this in Ohio, in Oklahoma, in Philadelphia, Illinois. There's a lot of areas where legislation is coming in against wholesalers. And the only reason why legislation comes in against wholesalers is because of bad actors, okay? So I want to let you know about a few things that we're seeing right now. So in major markets where you're making like 35, 45K assignment fees, like DC, LA, Washington, things like this, like in a major market, typically it's going to cost you like $4,000 to $6,000 to get a PPC deal, okay? You don't really care because you're making maybe $40,000, $50,000 on assignment. So you're easily 10xing your money, but it's expensive, okay? Now, what we've seen happen is too many investor companies, especially in the hot markets, are putting EMD payments that are too low on their deals, okay? I've seen a lot of companies out there putting out deals where the marketing cost of the deal in that area is $4,000 to $6,000, and then they throw a 5K EMD on it, okay? Now, what happens when you do that is, I had a professor at Harvard, he said, show me someone's incentives and I'll show you their behavior. Okay, so what you're doing is you're creating an incentive structure that is going to encourage a specific type of undesirable behavior. The undesirable behavior I'm talking about is if I'm a wholesaler getting started and I see this deal's popping up in a major market and the EMD is only 5K and I know it's going to cost $4,000 to $6,000 in marketing spend to get a deal there anyways, then I'm incentivized to just go put that property under contract, say that I'm going to be then buyer, and then just go wholesale it myself. Okay, wholesale to wholesale. And if I don't find a buyer, who cares? Whatever, it would cost me 5K to do the marketing to go source a deal in that market anyways. If it does work out, I make some money. So that's level one. And level one, like that's fair game. Like if you're dumb enough to put a 5K assignment fee or EMD on a deal in a hot market and your buyer doesn't perform, that's your fault for screwing up on the EMD. You need to put a higher EMD. Okay, so if you're in a major market, like your EMD should be high enough where it's painful. Like most top teams have at least a $10,000 EMD. Some are pushing higher EMDs even, because you want to know that that buyer is a serious buyer, right? And if they're not, you got to have some recourse. Okay, so be aware of that. Watch your EMDs, keep high EMDs on your deals, especially in hotter areas, because otherwise you're going to have people coming in shopping, saying they're the end buyer, and jacking you up on your deals. And when someone does, a lot of times these people are pulling the plug like the day before closing. So granny's out there with the freaking truck packed up, ready to go, and then you got a buyer pulling up. And then what happens? The wholesaler calls up and tries to renegotiate the deal, see if they can go move it. And then that looks really bad. And then granny's going to be calling the government saying, look what these guys just did to me. Okay. So I wouldn't put anything in their contract that you wouldn't buy yourself, number one. And I would get higher EMDs on all your deals, especially in hot areas, if you want to avoid this kind of behavior. And then anytime you get an offer, if you look at all the top teams, anyone doing over $1 million a month, they've all converged on one standard operating procedure. And that is, number one, we don't consider an offer unless you submit it to our website. Number two, though, most important, you have to submit a proof of funds. If they get an offer on one of their deals and a proof of funds is not uploaded, they're going to call that buyer back, let them know, hey, we really appreciate your offer. I just want to let you know that, unfortunately, our internal policy is we cannot consider an offer unless we get the proof of funds. So if you could just go into our website and just snap a photo or take a screenshot of your proof of funds, submit them over to us, then you'll be happy to evaluate your offer. Okay. Now here's the thing. The only people that are going to get mad and not want to do this are the ones that don't have the proof of funds. And those are the ones that are going to jack you up on the deal down the road anyways. Okay. If you look at a lot of amateurs that come in, they're losing half their deals, if not more. It's because they're not doing these things, right? If they just did these things up front, they're so desperate to go get that deal signed and go move it through that they're not doing these best practice things. They're just like, oh no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. They just assume it'll be fine. Guess what, guys? It's not fine most of the time. People, you always got to expect whoever you're doing deal with is going to try you screwing you over right before closing. So you got to do is you got to de-risk yourself. The way to de-risk yourself, vet the buyer, get the proof of funds, get everything loaded through the system, get your EMD, a high EMD, gives you high recourse, deposit within 24 hours, And in your contract should stipulate that the deal cannot be wholesaled to another buyer. They have to be that end buyer. And then the EMD is 100% non-refundable if they don't perform. So then if they don't perform, at least you have some recourse, so you have some cash, and you got a much higher percentage of people closing, while less people screwing over on deals. Another thing you can do that some top teams are doing is watermarking their images. Okay, watermark your images so other people aren't reselling, trying to reblast your deals. Okay, I recommend that. We're probably going to build that right into the system soon. Okay, so protect your deals, protect your buyers, protect your sellers. Because if we're not doing this, then it's going to really hurt the reputation of our industry. There's one level above this, by the way, that really ticked me off. Like I had to kick some off InvestorLift this week for doing this. Is they were doing this, they were putting in offers on a bunch of deals that they were going to go. I don't know for sure, but I think they were just going to try to go wholesale those deals. But what they were doing that took it a step further is they weren't even submitting the EMD payments. The EMD payments were never even being deposited. And then when people called being like, hey, where's my EMD payment? They're basically like, hey, sue me for it. Because they know a lawsuit is going to cost more than $5,000. Okay, so this is why you need to have high EMD payments. If you don't get them within 24 hours, like I wouldn't consider you have a contract. Okay, so this is also why I think that you're seeing the emergence of more and more mega wholesalers, especially of InvestorLift, is because the top teams are figuring this stuff out and they're sharing this information with each other. And it's becoming like standard operating practice for a lot of these bigger companies. And then when you actually implement this stuff, it actually protects your revenue, help protects your deals, protects your sellers, protects your reputation, and you start actually making a lot more money on your deals. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. What do you guys feel, Andrew? I think you some of these ideas actually, I think you mentioned in a post the other night. Do you have anything you want to add on that you get your research doing to kind of protect yourselves?
I mean, you hit a lot of the main things that we focus on. EMDs, bringing those up a little bit, depending on the price of the deal. Also 24 hours. If that EMD is not in, move on. If they can't get the EMD within 24 hours, like do not bank on it. If they want to get it in eventually, that's great. But if they don't have it within 24 hours, move on, keep marketing. If anything, you're going to get a better deal out of it because now you're going to let them know like, hey, I got other offers coming in. Whoever gets their EMD in first, they're going to get it. Well, I can't get it in tomorrow. So what if I just give you an extra $5,000 on the purchase price? Okay, well, now I'll give you another 24 hours, right? So definitely leverage the EMD 24 hours. Don't stop marketing until you have that EMD in.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to show you guys a feature that's going to help you guys with this, by the way. Most people, this is one of those like high level features that most people don't even think about or to be honest, know about. If you go under settings, disposition settings, and you go under offers here, what happens in InvestorLift is when you click to go accept an offer, the default is, and I'm probably going to switch this to make it non-default, but the default is typically that it'll send a text and email out to the other buyers saying, sorry, your offer was rejected. Okay. But what's kind of evolved over the last 24 months or so is we've realized that you don't want to necessarily reject the other offers because you don't have an offer until you have that contract signed, the EMD in. Okay. So you can come in here and toggle this on. What this will do is this will automatically disable the auto decline of offers. Okay. So what will happen, what teams use this when they accept an offer, they'll click check mark on that offer, but then they'll leave the other offers in place. They might switch the deal over to pending status or just leave it up and maybe get more offers. And then once they get confirmation that the EMD is deposited and it's a big juicy EMD, then what they'll do is then they'll switch that property over to sold. Okay, but they're always going to wait. So I actually highly recommend turning this on. Turn this on. It's going to help you. Okay. And yeah, get the proof of funds. Like I remember one of my first jobs, I was working in finance and my manager, he was training me on how to basically qualify investors. So I'm like, like boiler room, like calling people, hey, you want to invest? Hey, like trying to bring in money for the firm. And one of the questions that we had to qualify people was we would always ask them, okay, is your portfolio above or below 100,000? Because if the portfolio is below 100,000, then they wouldn't even be a profitable client for our firm. And I'm like, well, that's kind of like a personal question. My manager is like, no, it's not. The only people that are not going to tell you are the ones that have no money. And the ones that have no money are not our customer. So the guys that have 6 million, 10 million, they'll love to brag to you all day long about how much money they have in the bank. Okay. So same kind of thing with proof of funds. Get your proof of funds from buyers. It's going to make your lives a whole lot easier. Okay. And you guys all know that they can submit that through the system, right? I'll just show you in case anyone doesn't know this. So let's say I want to make an offer on this property. I click make offer. And let's say I'm going to offer him $350,000. And he's got a minimum 10K AMD. That's good. And I'm just going to put testing offers, test LLC. That way he doesn't think that I'm actually giving him a real offer. So I click make offer. And then here on this next step, I can upload my proof of funds. Okay, so I can just click this button on your phone. You just click their phone and it'll upload, it'll open the camera, or they can select from their camera roll with like a photo or a screenshot of their bank statement or whatever, or hard money loan report, and I click upload. And then that is going to push over to a system. Me as a buyer, I'll get a text saying, congratulations, your offer is accepted. Thanks, we received your proof of funds. And then the discipline manager on this deal, Steve here, he'll get a text and an email saying, congratulations, you got an offer. Hey, this buyer submitted their proof of funds. And then that's how he knows to go check it in his system. Okay. Any questions about it? Was this helpful, guys? Were these tips helpful?
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Well,
Yeah.
quick question
Yeah.
for you, because I'm sitting here trying to, much like probably some of us trying to multitask. Will there be a link for us to kind of go back, review this? And actually, I didn't see last week's. I don't know if you can provide a link for last week's or where we can find the.
Yeah, good question. So I'll show you guys where to go to find them. So I'll post them in the Facebook group. When I post them on the Facebook group, I upload them onto YouTube, just kind of store them in one place.
Mm-hmm.
So just go on YouTube and search for InvestorLift. And on the InvestorLift channel, there is a playlist here, and it's just office hours, okay? Week one, by the way, you know, so there's just week two last week. Week one, I recorded it, but then I was watching the replay and I realized I showed the screen with a bunch of passwords on it. So it's like, oh shoot, that's a huge security vulnerability. So I had to take that down, but my video guys will re-export it with that blurred out. And then I'll re-upload week one. Week one was really good too. We had dove into some serious strategy on week one. So I'll drop week one on there. Week two was already on there. For you guys that were on week two, how good was week two? On a scale from 1 to 10.
10, I was there. I'm
Okay.
also wondering about week one, and you just filled in the gaps on that. Thank you.
Absolutely. And there's a bunch of other videos on here as well. So you feel free to check out those other videos. I do have another channel too that you guys subscribe to it and hit the notifications bell, by the way. But there's another one, DMV Deal Makers, that I do a lot of content with another one of the cartel bosses, Josh Cohen, based in the DC area. This has got some like savage interviews, like ridiculous, like this John Martinez one. Like I've had companies call me and said that like they watched that interview and changed their business. I would watch that one for sure. The Tark one is interesting. Forrest Blackburn, really good one. He actually runs Tark's team. Nick Perry, really good. This one with Eliza, this is like the basics, like the fundamentals on like communication. I'm in this one as well. This is a really good one. This will teach you like a lot of stuff. I'll drop some links here. Do you guys want me to drop you some links on some good ones to watch?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Homework.
please.
Please.
So, I like Eliza's. I like Forrest Blackburn's was like some insane game dropped on this one. Yeah, most people are going to charge you $30,000 or $50,000 for coaching and give you this kind of stuff, but like these guys all just come on the show for free, give it all away for free, and they don't hold back, you know. Like John Martinez, he after this he emailed it out to some people and was like, to be honest, like there's more value in this than a lot of my initial coaching courses that I spent thousands of dollars on. Tarx is not as tactical, but more like mindset, stuff like that. That one's a good one. What else? Just go through and watch them.
I'm gonna watch all of them.
Yeah. Watch all of them, you'll be a pro. Cool. I'm going to start doing some more of these just specifically for the InvestorLift community. So like bringing on like some of the cartel bosses, maybe like once a week, and recording an interview with them about stuff that they're doing operationally, and sharing those with the community. So if you guys think that that's going to be helpful, let me know. Make it happen. All right. So that was everything. Oh, one last thing though, guys, if people do go around you on deals, and people have done a really good job on this, on their buyer profile, there's a little toggle switch that says blacklist. Go and blacklist them. And then under notes, I'll just show you real quick. We've actually added hundreds of buyers to the blacklist just a little bit. Like we're clean. We got to clean up the industry, because if we don't, then we're going to get legislated against, and then we're all going to be having to double close stuff, and it's going to cost a lot of money. Okay. So down at the bottom, you can toggle this blacklist switch on. If you toggle this blacklist switch on, that person stops getting deals. And then on notes here, you can add a note. And when you add the note, make sure it's a public note, so other people that are working with that buyer or get offers from that buyer see it. Okay. So we're going to use this. Working together, we can just clean up the whole industry, protect it for all of us, and like protect the golden age of wholesaling that is emerging right now. Awesome. Anything anyone else, does anyone else have any stories or tips or tricks that they want to share about, preventing people from going around them, or some of the games people are playing? I'm sure you guys all have some. Anyone want to share any?
Yeah, for me, what I started doing, this is probably about a little over a year or two ago, I started doing this, and that was when I would send out my deals, I would send out my deals with the street, all the street information on it, but I would take out the street number. And I found that that's been, for me at least, extremely helpful in having people to, if they're going to go around me, they're going to have to put in a little bit more work, either, whether they're getting out in their cars and going to drive around or whatever the case may be. But it has definitely slowed down so many people from doing that. And I literally I had a deal just recently where I partnered up with a group, and they blasted the deal out, and this is before I had an idea of what the hell they were doing, and they blasted the deal out. And when we were talking, she said she had an interested buyer. I said, okay, cool, well, let's set up a showing. And we had a showing set up on a particular day, but then her buyer stopped responding to her, so then we canceled it. So we canceled that one particular showing. Well, apparently that particular buyer had reached out to my seller and started calling my seller, and then because she put the address and a time for the showing, then we had random people showing up to the home that never RSVP'd and started knocking on the door saying that they're here for the showing. And the house had tenants, so now the tenants are all in a tizzy, because they're like, what the hell is going on? The owners, that they're calling the owners calling me, and that was just a whole shit show there.
It's a clusterfuck.
Yes.
Another way of pointing it. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to show you guys a couple of features you can use to help you with doing exactly what Terrence is talking about. Under disposition settings, again, this is stuff that I don't typically talk about on onboarding calls, because it's some high level stuff. It's high level stuff like this, but deal site settings, disposition settings. This is under set, click on settings, disposition settings, deal site settings, and you can toggle on this. Well, actually by default now, the actual street address number is hidden. Okay. If you toggle this on, it'll actually show the full street address. But if you leave this off currently, you don't see the full street address unless you're logged in. Okay. There's also a toggle on here where you can make it so that your deals are only visible to buyers that are logged in. Okay. So this actually helps also in Ohio, where there's a lot of there's legislation against marketing off market properties. Okay. So, but this helps you. It doesn't fix things 100%, but this is definitely going to help you. There's one more idea that we've discussed internally, I'd like to get your feedback on this, guys, is if you look at some of the other guys that are doing big like dispo, like Sunday, who here knows Sunday?
Mhm.
Huge buyer, hedge fund backed buyer in California, but they also
They're in Utah too.
in Utah too. Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
14 markets.
Yep.
So if you want to go and see any of their properties, you got to go you got to apply basically. Okay. It says join for free, but you can't just like join. You have to like go through a vetting process, and you have to sign an agreement basically saying you're not going to like, go around people on deals and things like this. So we were thinking about switching the entire site over to that. However, we talked to, a few of the big users on InvestorLift, and some people were like, no, do not do that, because like, I don't want to have any restrictions between buyers seeing my deals. Like I don't even typically make people log in at all to see my address. Like I just want to get as many offers as I can. On the other side of things, you have some people are like, no, I want people signing an agreement before they can see my deals, because if you don't have an agreement signed with the buyer and they see your deal, what some of these buyers have figured out is there's no real legal recourse, right? Like if they decide to go around you on the deal, it's not like they've signed a non-circumvent agreement with you saying, I will not go around you on any of the deals, okay? So they can go around you on the deal, and then what are you gonna do? Sue them? They know you can't sue them because you don't have an agreement with them, right? So that there's some guys with there's one guy in Florida, I think this is his entire business model, okay? He's blacklisted like by like so many people. So the way to get around this is what we're thinking about doing is introducing a feature where you could have VIP only deals, okay? And VIP only deals are visible only to the VIP buyers. How do you become a VIP buyer? You have to apply for it, okay? We do a like preliminary vetting of you. And then you have to sign a legal agreement saying you will not try to circumvent the wholesaler on this deal. You will not try to wholesale the wholesale, all this stuff. And then if you have someone that breaches that, then boom, you have legal recourse. You can sue them for breach of contract, okay? So this is what we're thinking about doing, is giving you the ability to, well, first of all, introducing this so buyers have the opportunity to basically sign an agreement to become VIP status, and then having a higher level, higher class of deals on InvestorLift that are only visible to the VIPs. Like we'll have them like blurred out or something on the deal site. So like people will be able to see that there's a deal, see what city it's in, maybe see like a blurred out image of the photo. But the only way that they're going to get all the property details is if they actually sign the agreement to become a VIP buyer. And that'll also help us just like really clean up the buyers list a lot. What do you guys think about that? You guys like that idea?
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and I also like the added layer of just ensuring the VIP buyers are VIP buyers, right? Because kind of right now there's some options to toggle them back and forth.
Yeah.
And I think having some consistency around that will be very, very helpful.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be, I think we might just switch everyone back to non-VIP and then send out a blast to all the people that were VIPs that, hey, if you want to stay VIP, you gotta go sign this agreement. I think it's gonna be good. Valerie says these standards are top level. Rebecca says love it. Awesome. Yeah. So we'll be working on these things and more. And it takes a lot of time to build these things, but you'll see some of the stuff emerging in the product over the next weeks ahead. Now, I can't stay on for too long today, but I did want to open things up for questions from people about like anything at all. Like could be about InvestorLift, could be about wholesaling, could be about whatever it is. Maybe you have a deal that you're struggling with moving, you want to get feedback from myself or other people on this call. So why don't we just open it up? Those are kind of some of the things I wanted to talk about in office hours today, but who has a question about, a deal, the business, whatever?
I got a question, Robert, regarding PPC and whatnot. I mean, I have a PPC manager right now. I'm not really getting, you know, the kind of leads that I'm targeting to get, but I have, you know, because I think you and I did my onboarding call. You know, I was telling you I had already had some Carrot sites, and the company that I was using, they were using the Carrot site as our PPC site. So I'm wondering, just and I even mentioned to him about your site, and I guess he said that I guess he had tried to test it before. Maybe somebody else who is on InvestorLift and uses him as their PPC manager, he might have tested with your site at one point and said his was still outperforming a little bit better. But again, I don't know how true, or maybe he was doing something that maybe you guys.
Is this Gene?
No. Get House Deals.
Get House Deals. He's the guy running your campaigns, or?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with them. We do offer $1,000 prize if anyone can beat our site. We'll give you $1,000 of skip tracing and text and credits. Because if someone has a site that outperforms us, like, we want to know about it so we can make ours better. Right? We always want ours to be the best in the world. So if anyone ever beat us on a pure A/B test, some people run tests, but it's not the same traffic. They're putting different traffic at, or different campaigns at different pages. That wouldn't be a true A/B test.
And that's kind of where my question is is it apples for apples? Is it, and if it's not, what's the next, what should I be doing right now? Because I don't want to miss out on the PPC.
I can show you some numbers from a big player we switched over from Carrot. My thought is, if you're probably not getting any results right now, right? You're probably getting a bunch of junk leads, and it's.
Yeah, I mean, we're not getting the fruitful, the real, cream of the crop stuff. I mean, and it could be, I don't know, because actually the site that he uses is not. It's a basic, just a real basic site. It's not even a Carrot site, but it targets to my Carrot site. But I think what he uses for the initial page or what have you is just kind of like a dummy down basic, But my thing is, I need to get somebody that can, do all this and set it up right. Even if I got to get another site, and just get a whole new URL, what have you, just to make sure that I'm
So most PPC managers love our sites because it makes them look really good, right? Okay. So here's an example. This is Carrot. This is before and after on Carrot with Corey Geary. Okay. So the screenshot on the left, you see September 1st, December 31st. That's the 2 months before he joined InvestorLift. So he had a 2.48% conversion rate, cost per lead of $62. Okay, not bad. But I told him, I'm like, I think we could do even better. Okay.
Yeah.
So we switched him over to InvestorLift, and when we switched him over January 1st, so this is a screenshot I took February 24th. His conversion rate went up over 400%. And his cost per conversion dropped over 40%. So he got more leads, 400% boost in his business just by switching his landing page.
Wow.
But
does he have someone that does he know how to do PPC himself, or does he have someone that he hired to or?
Yeah, we have 2 classes of customers on InvestorLift: the ones that manage their own PPC and the ones that outsource it. And there's not a single, like, the ones that are outsourcing it, maybe they're getting like $3 to $6 back for every dollar they spend. Mm-hmm. The ones that are managing in-house, some of those guys are hitting 10 to 20x. Okay. Yeah. So I always recommend just if you can, if you're somewhat technical savvy and data driven, then learn how to do it on your own and just manage it yourself, because it's the biggest lever ever in your business. If you're not super tech savvy, then go hire for it. Okay, go find someone that just.
You think are there VAs that are good at stuff like that?
I think that would be tough. Because you need to have perfect English, and I would try to find like a recent marketing graduate or something like that. Okay. That just a marketing degree. Something like that, or poach someone from a Google Ads management company, something like that. I just dropped this link. These are 2 cartel bosses that actually teach Google Ads. Nick Perry and Corey Geary. And I'll tell you, those 2 accounts produce more leads. They're like consistently have always been the top 5 accounts
Yeah.
on all of InvestorLift in terms of lead flow.
Okay.
Okay. The one thing that Nick does, I don't necessarily agree with. I always like beat him up over this, but we just disagree on it, which is fine. He's got one hypothesis. I have a different hypothesis. They're different approaches. He likes to target like the entire country. I don't like doing that because what I find is the guys that I've seen try to do that, a lot of the times they're just getting their account flooded with a bunch of junk leads in junk areas. And
yep.
yeah, because you're just like, if you have really low bids, you're not going to be competitive in any of the major cities. So you're only going to get leads. You're going to waste all your budget spending money in between the cities.
And I'm doing, and I can tell you that that is true. I run 2 PPC campaigns. I do one for like my metro area, but then I do another one for like regional, which is basically in other markets. But it's a we're not, like you said, we won't necessarily get the deals that are right in the metro area. We may get it like an hour outside in
That's
a rural
fine.
area.
Yeah, 45-minute radius.
Yeah, something like that.
Radius,
Yeah,
yes.
you know.
And don't target areas with less than 150,000 population. And they just use analytics to go, like, here's what I would do too, to be honest. You want to go pick out good markets. Here's going to be another hack. I'm about to drop some bombs here. Okay.
Drop them, baby.
Go add this. I'm going to give you some emails to go add as buyers to your buyers list. These are not real buyers. These are meant just for like, for doing competitive analysis. These are strategic. Okay. So, contact that Zillow offer pad. And put that. Okay, I'm going to give you guys Scott's email. Do not send Scott junk deals. Okay. Scott is only California. He's going to be geotagged in other areas. Do not send him deals outside. Okay. But I'm going to give him these to you guys just to help you guys with some super level strategy. Okay. So a lot of people are like, okay, like what data should I be looking at to figure out which markets to go into, where to run my campaigns, where I'm going to make the most money. Because if you look at all the top teams, anyone that's doing over $1 million a month, most of them are focused on less than 10 markets, less than 10 cities. They'll go really deep on like 5-6 cities, you know? So let me pop into your account. So then the question becomes, okay, how do I pick those cities? And you can go into analytics here and look at the data from each of these cities.
Yeah.
Like none of us are really data scientists. There's some big companies out there like the iBuyers that have entire teams of data scientists analyzing markets for them, doing machine learning, AI, all this stuff. So I would say find shortcuts, right? Like in business, you always want to be finding shortcuts. So here's a shortcut. I'm going to create a buyer here. This is, again, is a fake email. I created this buyer profile just to go spy on what Open Door is doing. Click save. It's going to say, there is a buyer with this email in InvestorLift. Do you want to look up that buyer? I'm going to say yes.
Gotcha.
Okay. That buyer, now if we go to your buyers list, you'll see that buyer, Open Door, now number 1. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Again, this is just a fake email. I'm not actually sending Zillow or offer padding my deals. I'm just doing this to go monitor where they're investing. So boom, I just did that for Zillow. Now I'm going to create another company. This is going to be OfferPad, and I'm going to click save, and I'm going to click yes, and then I'm going to do another one, and I am going to create buyer, and I'm going to do Wedgwood, and I'm going to pop this in, huge mega hedge fund. I'm going to click save and click confirm. Okay. Now, you guys, if you guys have been paying attention on the onboarding calls, like the buyer's database is a shared buyer's database. So when you add a buyer to your database, if that buyer already has a profile, all you got to do is put in their email, and it doesn't create a new profile with just, just blank email and nothing else. It just unlocks that existing profile, links up to your account. So I already created these profiles where I linked up the LLCs that these companies are operating under for Zillow, like Zillow is SPH1. Okay, so, but there's a bunch of different variations. OfferPad is OfferPad. Wedgwood goes under Cam Real Estate Funds, Can Mount Properties. Like they have a bunch of different LLCs. But now what I can do here is I can go into Open Door, and what I can do is if I want to look at where their data science team has decided to go target, I come over here and I click on Flips History, and This might take a second to load because it's a huge query. We're talking about like thousands of
Oh,
properties.
yeah, sure.
But guys, this is going to show me exactly where Open Door is buying all their deals.
Mm.
Okay, then I write down the names of some of those cities. Here we go. Look at this. Here's all the different areas, cities that they're buying deals in and how many deals they're buying in those areas. Okay, and I can zoom in on these areas if I want
Okay.
and really, really assess, you know, where are the good markets. So, okay, so I can see Open Door is really big in the, like, you know, Atlantic, Charlotte, Phoenix, areas like that. Let's go take a look at, so I do that with the iBuyers. And then I also try to, you know, get some hedge funds in your account. I'll show you Wedgwood real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I need too. I need more hedge funds because I mean I got maybe like 2 or 3 that reach out to me, but I know there's more of them out there that, you know.
Yeah, I might go share a list of them on the Facebook group. I'll maybe throw them in a Google spreadsheet and throw them on there.
Man, that'd be super helpful, man.
Yeah, because like, check this out. So the iBuyers, they're going to be better at data science. Okay, so they're going to be like playing on macro trends, like, you know, economic shifts and activity. They do stuff like look at where moving trucks are like being booked, and, you know, like they look at millions of data points to figure out which cities they're going to go into. But I do actually like looking at hedge fund backed buyers a little bit more for our use case, specifically because it tees you up for a buyer. Right. Like I can see that they're buying super heavy in California, like LA, they're buying like everything. Okay. So what that allows me to do then is if I'm buying and I can see like what price points they're paying, you know, things like that, I can run an export here. I'd export this data and segment it based on like state or whatever, and look at like their price points, minimum, maximum price points. And then what I would do is I'd make some notes for myself on those buyers. Like they buy from this price point to that price point. I call them up, actually just ask for their buy box. Sometimes they'll just literally send you like a PDF with, here's our buy box for every single city.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then don't send them any deals outside of that buy box. Be really, really careful. Because if you do send them even one deal outside their buy box, then they're going to put you on their block list because they get so many deals. They're blocking 90% of wholesalers that are going to email them because they have to just stay focused on the ones that are going to buy stuff. Also, to get on the phone with them, there's certain things that they want on every deal. Like some of these hedge fund buyers, they want mainline scope on every single deal. Otherwise, they won't consider it because that's a huge cost line item. And they will, in their underwriting process, like is mainline scope needs to be done. So if you come in here and you see that like Wedgwood is really big in these certain cities, and the strategy you then adopt is, hey, I want to go run some campaigns in those cities, targeting the buy box, targeting the areas that they're operating in and buying deals in, then I would get on the phone, let them know that, hey, I'm anticipating having a bunch of deals in this area. What's your buy box? And then I'd find out what criteria they need on their deals. Like, do they need a mainline scope inspection, whatever, all that. And then what I would do is like the minute I get that property under contract, I'd schedule that mainline scope inspection, find a really good guy that will do like a ton of them for you really cheap. And then I'll have that loaded in on your deal within 24 hours under documents.
Okay.
I put in like big bold, like at the top of my description, like mainline scope inspection attached under documents below.
Now, is that something pertinent to California, or is that, I've never heard of mainline?
That's usually on like at a hedge fund level basis. Certain ones will have certain things. Other hedge funds require that you get a preliminary inspection done.
Yeah.
So
I'm sold to, they just actually had their inspector just go by the property and take pictures. I mean,
yeah,
I haven't had anyone do anything other than that.
But if you go and spend like a few $100, you can actually have your inspector take the videos, the photos, and get you an inspection report, all for a few $100, right? And you drop all the photos in under photos, drop the video in under video, and then their documents, put your inspection report there, put your mainline scope report there, and then I would try to get your title company to pull title early and put your preliminary title search on there as well.
Yeah.
And then you go blast that out to that hedge fund. That hedge fund's gonna love you. They're like, man, bring me a deal that meets my buying criteria and you did all my homework for me. They'll buy it as is.
Yeah.
And then they'll just start buying everything
That's right.
that you put out there. And they'll be paying more than a regular home flipper would most of the time.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true. Yeah. I mean, that's why I like selling to them.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hopefully that was helpful. So I just dropped, did you guys all get those emails contact at Open Door, contact at Zillow, contact at OfferPart, Scott Steinbeck. Those are all fake emails except for Scott's. But again, don't blow them up. Be respectful. But what I've done is I've already linked up all these companies, I've brought in the God mode data, and then because these are fake emails, what I'm doing is I toggled off all the text and I toggled off all the emails, so I'm not like trying to go email an account or text an account that I've actually put in fake data in just for the purpose of like data science and tracking.
Right.
Okay. I'm curious actually does anyone want to see where Zillow is buying? Because
Yeah.
Zillow is like making big moves right now.
Yeah, I saw the article you put. No, that was somebody else. I think that was Corey.
Corey, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling you, the iBuyers and the mega wholesalers, we're going to put the realtors are going to be a thing of the past, except for at the highland of the market. You give it 5 more years. And there you go. So and Anthony, you're in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yeah, me and Terrence, we in the same market.
Terrence, this is crazy. Look at that. Look at how many deals are buying Atlanta. That's insane.
Yeah.
They love Atlanta.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I haven't reached out. I mean, because I don't put my deals on MLS, so I guess I would never get them to make offer. But if I had a direct link to, email to somebody who was, or the agents that are responsible for it, I mean, it definitely could be great.
Absolutely. Hopefully this is helpful. Rebecca, I just saw your message. Looks like you got pop off. Thanks for jumping on, Rebecca. Hopefully this was helpful.
Thank you. It was really good. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, guys, I got to wrap up here in a couple minutes because my wife I got to give her the car to go run some errands and already over budget on time. Does anyone have any last questions? Anything that we're like, hey, I just got to this would be super helpful if you give me some feedback on. Anyone got anything like that you want to touch on real quick?
No. Mm-mm.
All right, I'm going to wrap things up. How helpful was this, guys, on a scale from 1 to 10? I want to get your feedback. What was the most helpful thing we touched on today? Just drop in the chat or unmute yourself. Let me know. Because what I'll try to do is I'll try to think of things for next week that are along the lines of the things that are most helpful for you.
Well, this was helpful right here, what you just did, as far as showing where the big buyers are buying at and looking to try to target those particular areas. That's something that I can definitely do.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just a hack. It's a shortcut. If they're already spending millions of dollars in data science,
right,
don't reinvent the deal.
Yeah, that's right.
The wheel, just like piggyback off what they're doing. Now, but when you go in and you go into your account and you run, let's say you want to target Atlanta, don't just type in Atlanta because everyone else is just typing in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Do the radius because everyone's going to be bidding in the city, and then you go 1 block over that city line, and also no one's bidding. Right. So just make sure you use radius and just go. Usually you can go about 45 minutes outside of the metro and still be able to move deals.
After Atlanta's huge.
Yeah, it starts getting difficult. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful, guys. Hopefully this was useful to all of you. Valerie, thanks, Robert. Best to Eliza. It was 10 out of 10. Awesome. All good insights. Awesome. Always a pleasure having you on, Valerie. If you guys want me to touch on certain things for next week as well, let me know. Just post on Facebook like, hey, I'm interested. I want to get more help on this one thing I'm struggling, or that one thing I'm struggling with. And what I might start doing is maybe even having a cartel boss, try to have at least one cartel boss join that, is doing $500,000 or $1 million a month, and see if I can get someone to come on almost as like guest office hours host to give you guys some feedback, or just start doing some interviews with some of them. But Rebecca is on a cartel team. Andrew is from a cartel team. There might have been a couple else on here as well today. But yeah, hopefully we can get you guys all to the point where you're doing a few $100,000 a month, because this is the beginning of the gold rush. The golden age is like the 20s for music.
That's right. That's right.
It's going to be the wholesaling business. Already is becoming the wholesaling business right now. So I'm super happy to have all of you. Bring on the celebrities. Yeah, maybe we'll get Tarek to pop in on some office hours sometime. Check out his interview. It's pretty good.
Good deal.
Awesome, guys. Appreciate having you all on. Hopefully this was helpful. And I guess we're going to do this again next Tuesday. Normally I do them Tuesdays, but this week I had something on Tuesdays, so I had to rebook. So use the link. I'll repost the link probably maybe tomorrow that you can use to RSVP for next week. So hopefully this was helpful. And if you guys want more great content like this, make sure to join next week. And hopefully we can help you all get your businesses to the next level up, and I'll make buckets and buckets and buckets of money together in the next couple of years ahead.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate
Have a
it.
good one.
Thanks, Rebecca, Anthony,
Awesome, man. Have a great one.
Beto, Valerie, Andrew. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Terrence, great having you on. See you guys later. Bye.